Mimi Hill and Abby Mackay, two of your star midfielders, before the game. What kind of adjustments have you had to make?
No, well, Lila Keck comes in and Nick hurt herself in training the other day and didn't quite come up, so we're well prepared for that one. So great opportunity for Kecky to come in and get another game under her belt.
So 3 quarters left of football for your club this season. What do you want to see from your players?
Oh no, we want to play a strong, hard brand and we want to do it all the way to the end. I thought that was a really good representation in the first quarter. Now so the challenge is to do it for 3 more.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
So Matthew Buck there with his thoughts, and Nat, what sort of a sense do you get around Bonnie Toogood and the likelihood that she'll be okay to resume?
So Bonnie did quite a few run-throughs just before quarter time, and she looked so proppy on that left ankle. She sat down and looked really resigned to the fact she was talking to the doctors and the physio, actually in tears, managed to pull herself together to address the team at quarter time, but she has been ruled out with that injury. The Bombers not taking any risks ahead of a potential final series, so she is done for the night.
Well, now they've got to get there, and that's something they'll have to do from a small deficit at quarter time. So how does that change the dynamic for Essendon, Kate McCarthy?
Well, the good news is, Al, is they've spent a few games throughout the season without her, so they will most likely go back to the structure that they were playing when she wasn't in the team. So pretty sure we'll see Elise Gamble stay along in the forward line, and Jackie Vaught, Daria Bannister, a bit of responsibility falls on their shoulders now.
Goss did not see Bannister coming, and she picked her off and caught her holding the ball, and Nan Scorn is on the burst. Got a little push in the back as she kicked it. That will come back, and Nan Scorn will have the free kick slightly forward of centre.
Well, that's what you want to see if you're a Bombers fan. Daria Bannister getting up the ground and laying a good, strong tackle. They've been completely out-tackled in the first term. Essendon down by 15 tackles, so that's what they need to do. They need to roll up their sleeves and get down and dirty and lay some big hits, get the pressure on Carlton and try and generate a little bit more of the turnover game.
So Bannister involved again. She is a thumping kick, but this will be beyond her range. Going to set it up to the pocket. Gamble's in front position from the side. Good, couldn't pull it in underneath. Prasparkas had it for a moment. They'll be throwing.
And that play there is going to be a tough one for them to pull off, considering the tools that Carlton have at their disposals, being able to get down there and compete in the air. So I feel like it's going to have to be a hit-up lead or even a little lead out to the pocket that's going to need to be the connection for Essendon.
So Gamble and Good, no decisive knock. Prasparkas, the decisive take to Nan Scorn. To Gaylor, gets an open look at goal and puts it through and puts Essendon in front. Gaylor with her first goal in AFLW football. It will not be her last. She is an emerging young player that the Bombers are very excited about. Exactly the response Essendon needed at the start of the second quarter.
Well, it all came from that tackle from Daria Bannister out of the centre clearance, because Carlton were about to win the clearance and go straight inside their forward 50, but Amy Gaylor, that's her first goal in AFLW football, and it's a very nice finish, wasn't it, coming off the half-back line, so that's got to spark this Essendon team.
Nan Scorn's been heavily involved. Bush buys herself a little bit of space, uses the right boot, and Bannister presenting again. This looks a different Essendon early in the second quarter. And the lead of Alexander was on it. Alexander from 50 metres out. It's an end-over-end finger breaker. Good couldn't take the mark in defence. Lawson Tavern tackled by Gamble. Umpire will intervene.
And those two kicks there, probably the stark comparison between the two. So beautiful kick out to the advantage of Alexander on a lead, and then the other one long and high and plays into Carlton's hands.
Gamble takes a hold of Courtner this time. Robertson's dispossessed. Nan Scorn escaped. Picked their pockets. And the Bombers are elated with that. Well, she has been in hot form and has started superbly here tonight in a clutch game for Essendon. Georgia Nance scored with 10 disposals, 7 of those contested, 7 ground ball gets, 2 tackles and a goal.
This was brilliant from Nanscorn, just never giving up on the play. Attack on the player and then attack on the footy, and then only had a clean handle on it for about half a second, then got it on the boot. But this is ominous at the moment, the way that Maddie Prasparkas and Georgia Nanscorn have started this second term. 4 disposals for Nanscorn and a clearance, 2 for Maddie Prasparkas, both of which have been clearances.
Prasparkas gets it again, fends away with strength. It's an up and under. Fitzgerald the spoil. Gearan's kick bounces in the bullseye. Taken by Keeney, off to Prasparkas, rode the tackle, got it out towards Dyke, can't quite get the handle on it. Picked up by Powell. She thumps it forward, coming out to meet it with Celine Moody, couldn't take it. Brown is there for Carlton. Nanscorn though took front position and shot the hand pass out to Van Loon. To Gay, into the middle, precision but no mark for Clark. Fitzgerald, Finn. Kicks to the half-forward flank, Van Loon stood her ground. In fact, it's Gaylor who marks, and Gaylor can repel for Essendon.
Spent most of her year as a half-back player, Gaylor, but it looks like she's playing a little bit of time on the wing in this one, and I really like it. Can get up and down the ground really well.
Another of those left-footers who go so comfortable kicking the ball. Essendon looking far more comfortable in this contest now as Gay kicks into the pocket and Vaught marks on the chest.
Beautiful connection there. That's how the entries need to go inside forward 50. They have such athletic and just good turn of foot in their forward line. Good speed, especially now without Bonnie Toogood down there to be that key marking target. I feel like if they're able to get it in there quickly and hit a player on the lead, they're going to have the most chance at hitting the scoreboard.
So Jackie Vaught pulls the kick and can't capitalise, but Essendon 2 goals, 1-0 in this score, in this quarter, after trailing Carlton by a couple of points at quarter time. Pound will bring the ball back in, but not certain as to where she wants to go. Almost marked by Moody. Lawson Tavern got it back from Cordner, off to Finch's, column high. No free kick. Well, that's a blatant miss. Kane inside 50 turns it over. Fitzgerald marks. Fitzgerald to Harrington. Peterson.
It's a blast.
Regards to Joel. Lucky husband of Karen. Pound marks in defence for the Blues.
To be fair, I think he should have taken her name, but...
If you're going on stature in life and on the sporting arena, no, he's a very good commentator, Joel.
Very nice.
Good fellow. Still hasn't got Kez covered, though.
No.
Cordner.
Not many have.
Fitzgerald, and plenty of it. Almost a mark to Finn, but Gaylor there to see it out of play.
Really struggling to get any territory in this third term. Carlton in the forward half, they've only had the 2 disposals, and Essendon have had the 17 in their forward half for this second term. So they've come out from that quarter time break and really worked out how they want to play this game, Essendon.
Here's Georgia G. It's her former team, Radford. And lost it. Brown in over the top of her. Umpire will end that dispute. Moody, another knockdown. Ortlett puts it out into the path of Shearer. Alexander goes after her. Shearer persisted and gave it to Pound to Ortlett. Her kick towards half forward. Now Pos and Gay. Gay confronted, hand pass to Clark, back to Gay. She dropped it, had time to regather. Changed the angle of the run, bounces it up around the wing. Shearer. A block up for the Blues, but she's turned it over back to Gay. Squaring kicks, a good one for Kane. Some fluency in the Essendon game, but that breaks down here. Fitzgerald takes the intercept mark.
It was well anticipated from Fitzgerald, saw that kick coming. It was a miscue, but she was also going to get there if it did go to the target.
Gearan sits it up to full forward. In front, Moody can't mark. Ortleb there, couldn't get the handle. Prospark is so clean. To Brown, to Radford. Radford clears. It's over the head of the intended target. Bannister had gone up the hill. Carlton through Peterson, and then the kick. Fitzgerald partially smothered. Moody got it away. Kick inside the 50 from Finn is marked in defence by Clark of Essendon.
Georgia Clark played a very important role this whole season for Essendon, usually taking the key forward, and was in a good position there. He thought it might carry long, but ended up taking the mark.
Brown. Can they find a mark this time? Maybe a rove. Gay's been good. Gives to Van Loon. Her hand pass is wide of Brown. And it rumbles through for a minor score. Carlton's first score of this second quarter comes at the 9-minute mark.
Just the 2 inside 50s for the term as well. But the good news is they were able to lock it in and get that turnover top of 50 and go straight back at Essendon.
Brown looks to the outer side. Arms almost chopped there on Dyke. Kick inside 50 or to the edge off from Velado. Again, it's Maddie Gay just repelling and taking territory. She gets it back from Alexander and kicks Silver's service out in front of Nanscorn. Takes it on the bounce. Peterson gets her, holding the ball.
We spoke about Peterson's work rate in the first quarter, and that again was huge from the captain. Nanscorn had just snuck on from the bench, and Alexander used some really good vision to find her, and that was almost, you could say, a goal-saving tackle, despite it being so far out from Essendon's goal.
Boston towards Dalpos. It's taken here and thrown on the boot by Halfpenny. Moody's there. Good tackle from Dalpos. Dispossessed Kane, still alive for the Blues. Umpires found a free kick as it was put through. We're about to be. Guess who it is again? Maddie Gay coming up for possession number 20. And we are at the 11-minute mark of the second quarter. It's a clinic.
Well, Nat said that Ebony Marinoff's here to watch Maddie Gay, and Maddie Gay's doing Ebony Marinoff things at the moment. She's brought her own Sharon tonight.
Peterson's tackled by Vos.
The way she's going, she could eclipse Ebony Marinoff's. She's on track for that 43 disposal effort.
Al and Kate, I have Carlton's AFLW list sitting right behind me, and every time Jess Dalpos goes anywhere near the ball, they are just willing her to kick a goal in what is her final game after announcing her retirement during the week. So that's a big watch for mine. Absolutely,
they will try and make that happen. Crashing in Shero, Radford gets a hold of her. Skipped the 9 goals in her career, Jess Dalpos. Ball evades Goss, tapped by Kane in the direction of Gaylor. Ducking underneath Dyke, tackled, caught, and tried to ball it up.
Looking at the hit-outs again, so 21-1 at the moment, and 7 hit-outs to advantage to zip to Carlton. So no matter what happens after this one, that's an important stat to keep an eye on, because obviously Wales not coming back for the remainder of the season, and teams that are in and around them on the ladder are very good with rucks.
Oh, Jess Dalpos laces out onto the chest of Halfpenny. After winning a holding the ball free kick, she delivers superbly. Halfpenny, just her 8th game, 1 career goal. The Blues' first of the term. Kick is left, and another minor to the Blues.
It's been good though. Essendon are usually a good team at being able to chain together uncontested possessions and go end to end, but Carlton have been able to respond really well after a couple of goals quickly in this second term to Essendon, so they've been able to get a little bit more time in their forward half late in this term.
Morgan to the wing, not enough penetration on the kick. Fitzgerald is playing a very important role for Carlton. She's had the 13 disposals now. It's taken 7 marks.
4 of those intercept marks as well.
And scored And pass knocked down by Robertson. Bombers though through Radford. Should pass around the wing. Walker did well to control it, keep it in. To G, a couple of former Blues combined. And pass forward, but Bannister back to a running G. Goss pursues her. The kick is next. Dyke, 2 kicks from goal. Looks to the corridor. Sends it in the Alexander direction. Nicely weighted. She marks at the top of the 50 and moves it quickly and expertly. Gamble marks.
That was a brilliant kick from Matilda Dyke. Everyone was running away from her, so you felt if she was going to try and kick it, it would have been one of those ones that sort of sat in that in-between and would have been picked off really nicely from Carlton, but just by opening up, that's just great vision. She looked straight down towards goal, saw that there was nothing on and kicked it across, which allowed those players then to lead back up at the leg of Sophie Alexander. If you're Natalie Wood, that one's all over the review on Monday.
Elise Gamble in a milestone match, her 50th game, kicks towards goal and has missed. Now the umpire is just going to check whether this is a mark or a behind. Mark paid. Another intercept mark goes in the book for Fitzgerald. So no score. Margin remains 9 points. Lawson Tavern. Cordner can get the hands up to try and mark. Prasparkas got the hands onto it. Her kick smothered. Well done by Good. Spills to Cordner. Back to Gearin. And Loon best placed here. Again, opportunity to bring it into the corridor, but Portland read the play and bursts away. And now the race is on. It's like they're in the Flemington straight, and Moody is after it. She couldn't win it. Gay. Brown. Keeney, the other 50 gamer for the Bombers.
It's got a horrible bounce in, Moody. If that one trickled on, either sat up for her or even just kept rolling forward, you felt like she was in prime position, but been really impressed with how well they've done their homework, the Blues. They know how Essendon want to move the ball. They've been able to restrict them.
They've transitioned beautifully again. Radford to G. G. Can't see him missing. Dishes it off. Gamble. Back to G. They might have overdone it. Gamble to finish. Gets it done. They flirted with danger, but the result is a major to the Bombers. So Gamble gets the goal in her 50th game. And the Bombers in this quarter have kicked 3 goals to none. So 2 behinds Carlton and 3 goals won to the Dons to put them 15 points clear.
Well, it was the first time we've really been able to see that transition game from Essendon. I was just saying how well Carlton had done it, sort of covering off those exits, but they went a bit quicker on that occasion and just caught the Blues napping on transition. Some beautiful handball chains, and I was with you, Al. I thought they might have flirted with danger a little bit too much, but Gamble good enough to finish.
Prasparkas the clearance for Essendon to centre half forward. All taken on the bounce by Robertson to Pound. Sparkus might mark this on the wing. Well done by Finn to knock it away from her. Dalpos, Collin, Gearin, Shearer. Links up with Brown in the middle. She links up with Shearer. Promising build-up Carlton to a one-on-one inside the 50. Vesio, dangerous in these situations, was held without possession of the ball, and the umpire out of zone has spotted the free kick. Vesio to line them up.
Well, no matter what point of your career you're at, I feel like being one-on-one with Darcy Vesio when the ball's on the ground or in the air would be a pretty overwhelming prospect for a defender. And that's exactly what played out here. Just held on. One over the shoulder and then one around the waist.
Carlton's first goal of the term. Vesio directly in front. Puts it through. of intrigue as Essendon was starting to get right on top. A Carlton goal, that margin under double figures again.
Well, despite all their dominance in a whole lot of areas that are very key, disposals, contested possessions, clearance and marks, Carlton is still finding ways to score in this game. Had 3 shots at goal, just the 1 goal, 2 for the term, but being able to get the ball inside 50 and score is so important in games like this, and they're well and truly up for the fight in this one, Al.
Shearer at the bottom of all of that. She's had the 11 disposals for the Blues. Clear tap down from Good to Gearan. Gearan towards the 50. Good hands. Brown takes the mark. Radford. There's a good look across the ground. Go for territory around the outer wing. City side. Vaught. Good kick in the Clark direction. Bounced off the chest of Clark. Pound. Runs into trouble. Dumped in the tackle. And the umpire will ball it up. Carlton needs to hang on for the next 50 seconds.
It's that kick there that they're able to force Carlton by just covering off the exits. We know how much they want to use uncontested possessions, Essendon, so by forcing them long makes them take away their game plan or their preferred method of ball use and able to generate some stoppage rather than just chipping their way through the field.
Mass of players around the ball. The umpire will throw it in the air again. More seconds tick off the clock, so 30 until the half-time break. The Vesio goal giving Carlton a little energy, and the umpire giving Carlton a free kick to Good in the ruck contest. So Good towards the wing, knocked down by Bush. Pulled away by Van Loon, but Brown sends it back the Blues way. Radford. Brown pursues her. Head pass to Bush. Links up with G. Back to Radford. Just as Essendon was building. The half-time siren sounds at Icon Park. The Bombers needing a win to play finals football. For the moment, Melbourne holds that prized 8th position. They will be jumped by the Bombers if they can beat the Blues, and they lead by 9 points at half-time. Essendon 4-1-25, leading Carlton 2-4-16 after the Blues had led by 2 points at quarter time. We will keep a close eye on the live ladder. Port Adelaide, of course, to play tomorrow still. The Bombers are where they want to be, but they need to hang on for another half, Kate McCarthy. Let's get down to Nat Edwards.
Maddie, a massive game tonight. We all know what's on the line for the Essendon Football Club in terms of making finals. What have you liked so far, and what do you think still needs improvement?
Yeah, we're just not willing to let this be our last game, so I think we're sort of showing that on the field. We're showing fight in the contest, up in the air and on the ground, so I'm really proud of the girls.
You certainly are. 22 disposals for you and a half of football. And you've got a #1 fan here in Ebony Marinoff, Crow's superstar. She's wearing a Maddie Gay badge. What's that all about?
Nah, we're long best friends and we're loving it. I said she's got to come wear my badge. We support each other. I watch her game, she wants mine. It's always good to have a best friend here.
Well, you're doing some things that she does on the footy field. Best of luck in the second half. Thanks, Maddie.
Appreciate it.
So it is the Bombers leading here tonight at Icon Park. 2-4-16 Carlton to Essendon 4-1-25. We'll be back on the other side of this to unpack the first half of footy.
We take vehicles that nobody wants to touch.
Look at that.
And we make them great.
Holy God, that is awesome.
Last Chance Garage starts Monday, November 11 on Turbo.
You won't believe who just went electric.
Well, they said it would never happen, but today, Barry has gone electric.
We just believed, just like Barry.
What made you finally go electric?
Because it's a Toyota.
The all-electric Toyota BZ4X. Charge on. Toyota.
I was told that it was normal, you're just stressed.
I was being dramatic.
This is the gender pain gap, and we are committed to help close it.
At Bunnings, there's always something new here, things like barbecues, things like smokers, keeping up with the latest trends. It's really easy to set up the backyard of your dreams for the lowest prices here at Bunnings.
Marquee 3-piece bistro set, only $68. Matador Ignite 4-burner barbecue, $849. EcoDeck Designer Series decking, just $18.19 per linear metre.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item will beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
At Coles, we're on a mission to help inspire Aussie kids to eat better and to get active too. Which is why we're proudly sponsoring kids' sports programs all over the country, like Coles Healthy Kids.
Aw, thank you, Tom.
It's a great way to get kids moving and to support local communities. Coles, proud partner of the AFL, AFLW and Healthy Kicks.
Lovely thing about together. It goes a long way.
Good to go, mate.
A very important purple has landed at Macca's. Try the world-famous grimace shape.
Oh, no, there's something. Yeah. Let's go, Jade! Let's go, Moods. We can kick to the spare. Yeah. Jim, I need you to tell probably mids and forwards, if you can, that they need to hold the ball and let our forwards lengthen the ground first before playing on, so that we have numbers instead of just kicking back to their spares. Yeah. That's a message going out. Go!
What are you seeing from the structure, John?
I think you're
too stagnant.
Probably just more movement still. Yeah. Forward structure is still really good. So yeah, Asa's pretty happy with that. Niels, just say as well that we need to hold the ball like what you were chatting about to let players get up the ground before playing on. Come on. Good body work, Gab. Good. Fight the ball. Nice. Pressure. Good, Gab. Yes, Jen.
Even when injured, the Irish influence. They're on Fitzpatrick having her say in the contest last week. Carlton having a fair say in proceedings tonight as well, albeit trailing Essendon, who had a good second quarter by 9 points at the half-time break. Bombers needing a win to make the finals. Carlton through Vessia, that late goal was important, but our Coles special moment belongs to Amy Gaylord.
Yeah, Amy Gaylord has been phenomenal for the Bombers all season and had her own special moment in this game, kicking her first AFLW goal. Some brilliance from Maddie Prasparkas, Georgia Nann Scorn, who really lit up that second term, and Amy Gaylord, a beautiful beautiful left footer and just a smooth mover around the field, and then was able to slot that one. And nothing better than seeing a player kick their first goal and all of their teammates come rushing to them and celebrate. It was a fantastic moment in that second term.
You can see why Essendon players, coaches, fans are very excited about what she might be able to do in this competition. Carlton started so strongly. Obviously, Bonnie Toogood being out of the game is a huge loss for Essendon, but that second quarter, the Bombers got their game going. What did you notice?
Yeah, so when they're able to get dominance around clearance, and namely the first few clearances of that second term in through the centre bounce and in the forward 50 was Maddie Prasparkas and Georgia Nanscorn, two that have just really built up a beautiful combination, whether it's the first one getting the first possession and feeding it out to the other, or vice versa, or Georgia Nanscorn, who just basically did everything in that term, including a phenomenal goal, and just her ability to get the ball from hand to foot there. Didn't have a whole lot of control over it until really she dropped it onto her foot. So it's been a fantastic performance in the second term from those two in particular. But I've been impressed with Carlton's ability to sort of do their homework and work out exactly how they want to take Essendon's game away from them. Haven't allowed them to work the ball up through uncontested possessions like some teams have. So I've been really impressed with that. If they can continue that, they'll stay well within reach.
Fair bit to play out tomorrow, as much as there is still tonight for Essendon. Melbourne waiting in the wings to see whether they're playing finals, but that $1 million purse going to Brisbane or Hawthorn, Kate McCarthy.
So if Brisbane win, all the pressure goes back on Hawthorn. So if they're able to then get that win against Richmond at Punt Road, not only do they finish in the top two, but they get $1 million for it too.
It's a great night if you're a youngster to get out amongst it, have some fun. The NAB Oz Kickers, NAB Oz Kickers are lapping it up at Icon Park. We will have the second half coming up for you shortly.
now is Essendon's interim head of AFLW in James Polkinghorne. James, thank you so much for joining us. Just a bit of an update on Bonnie Toogood and her ankle. How serious is it?
Yeah, unfortunately for Bon, she's finished up for the game. Ankle injury, we really won't know more until we get some scans and follow that up in the next few days. But based on Bon's body language and the way she's getting around, looks positive. But, you know, that's a credit to Bon's leadership and the role she now plays for the team.
Very much so. And I guess if you had to look at a positive, the fact that she had that knee injury earlier in the season, missed a chunk of footy. So the team is used to playing and winning without her.
Yeah, for sure. And I think even credit to the group out there tonight, their ability to adapt quickly was really impressive and move on from that moment and keep playing team football.
Appreciate you joining us, James.
Thanks, Nat. Cheers.
Yes, the wait and watch and all the necessary testing will be done. First and foremost, though, Essendon needs to attend to business in the second half here, leading by 9 points. Good, the tap down. Collected by Gearan. Hand pass out towards Finn. She's just pulled off at a touch there by Dyke. Shearer has been important for Carlton. Speaking of important, Gay. She's brought her own Indigenous Sharon tonight.
She's been phenomenal. It's her 23rd disposal and she's really patrolling the half-back line. She's had 9 handball receives, so if I was the half-forward that was playing on her, I might want to get arm across and stop her from running off.
Gaylord, neat usage to Vott. Doesn't look overly confident about where an obvious option is, so she sends it long. Dyke, tackled by Gearan, got a hand pass out towards the boundary line. Cordner sees it over.
She's had 471 metres gained as well, Maddie Gay. The next closest to that is 313 through Maddie Guerin for Carlton. So she's nearly up to 500 metres gained. That's incredible, but it's crazy that Carlton is still just going to let her run around and do as she pleases.
Kane, closed down, hand pass hits the deck. Shearer knocked it to Vecchio. Look away, hand pass, no good. A chance for Keeney. Good use of the body though. Lawson Tavern takes the mark in defence. Clark spores away from impressive Fitzgerald. The 8 marks in the first quarter. Vott's under the pump. Prasparkas usually navigates things well. Morecambe. 50 metres. Carlton can't afford those kind of moments.
Interesting thing about that is the umpire wasn't going to call that 50 until the player played on, but if the player plays on, there's no protected zone. So Dalpos ran through that, and only when the player played on did the whistle go to mouth.
It's cost Carlton a goal. So the Bombers, with the all-important first goal of the third quarter, another look at that. So the umpire hadn't called play on, instead elected to call 50.
So it's going to be this kick in here from Prasparkas, which is beautiful vision to start with, and then Dalpos, number 2, that's just running behind Morecambe now, told to move out. And then as the player plays on, then it's 50. I have no problem with that being 50 to start with because there was the protected zone and Dalpos doesn't move out, but needed to be awarded before the play on was actually taken part. But all in all, probably the right thing occurred, but just interesting how that was adjudicated.
Back with the flight, Gaylor with courage. Halfpenny's hand pass. Austin crashing through Shearer. Her hand pass to Clark though. Look at Prasparkas, evasive as ever. The skill, the spy, Keeney. Keeney can't take the mark at centre half back, but does collect. And kick intercepted by Robertson.
Love to be a player that works to good positions if you're on Maddie Prasparkas' team, wouldn't you? Because she just constantly gets used. She takes options that not many other on the field would actually even see.
Shearer, the high free kick. Low kick inside the 50, but playing in front, Morecambe. Now points Vesio. Goes to the back flank. Peterson affects the spoil on Vott, ducks underneath. Wrapped up, caught, holding the ball. Just as she looked like she was about to escape Karen Peterson, she was nabbed by Jackie Vott.
Good tackle, not an easy thing to do. Tackling Karen Peterson, very strong, but also very elusive. Has a good sidestep, so an important turnover as well, because Carlton are going to go straight back inside forward 50 there.
Gaylord, another 50 metres. And Finn is perplexed on the mark. Was she told to come back and didn't? Didn't see anyone in the protected area that time.
Yeah, was asked to move back a couple of metres. Umpire called her back. She didn't move. So he asked her to move back here, blows his whistle, and then she doesn't respond, doesn't move back, so it's a 50.
Yeah, it's clear cut. So Gaylord already having kicked her first AFLW goal. The left foot kick doesn't have the carry, and it's marked. Good where she needed to be. And another fit. It is a 50 fest at the moment. They are handing them out like candy canes at Christmas.
Another gain is that one that I love, Al, when the player goes straight over the 9 metre. Anyone watching, if someone takes a mark between the goal square and the goals, don't go over the line.
Brown, the bounce evades her. She might go back and mop things up though for the Bombers. Hand pass to Gay, bad bounce, allows Moody in for a moment. Vesio wants to get troublesome in there as well, and she's been able to force a forward 50 stoppage. Vesio picks up, fends, falls over, knocked it out, Radford clean. To Gay, to Prasparkas, and the Bombers come away again. Gamble on the lead, had the arms chopped. Walker, just a little ginger, trying to run that out.
There's no one on the mark there for Carlton either.
So Clark, Georgia Clark. Look at them lining up in the middle. Just maybe give Gay even a skerrick of attention at some point. Would you suggest, Kate? Bombers bursting forward again. Brown's kick though cleaned up. Cordner to the late inclusion Kep, and now Lawson Tavern.
She's up to double figures now for handball receive. That's 10 for the game. Yes, she's getting into good positions, but there's no one in navy blue jersey that's really paying her much respect.
Who would you think might be a reasonable sort of a matchup to play that defensive type out?
It wouldn't matter really. A small forward, a high half forward, anyone that plays that sort of role, or it's really, she's just sitting off the back of contests and running back and getting handballs. So it doesn't have to be anyone that's necessarily a tagger or anything like that. It's just one of those players who just put your arm across and make it hard for her, put some bumper bars, see if she wants to work hard to get those handball receives.
Well, they did really well in that contest. Shearer feeds it back, Vesio to the wing, turns it over, Clark. Corridor. They're just not closing the corridor down at all. Well, Carlton. Brown. Kane. In open pastures, had all the time in the world to assist and even kick awkwardly to guess who. Gay finds G, and G, almost directly in front, is only 35 metres from goal. Wants to pass it off. Saw a lead that she liked, and Vott stretches and takes it.
Yeah, well, Jackie Vott's sitting in that deep position as a forward. Works really hard, constantly moving, whether she's creating space or whether she's the one that's leading all the way out and being the beneficiary. Has worked very hard in this game since Bonnie Toogood went off.
To behind in the second quarter. And she find a major here. Sits it up and sends it through. Bombers with their biggest lead, 21 points. They've put themselves in a very strong position, the Dons, as they look to lock away a final spot. If that's the case, then the wait begins on Too Good.
Really nice ball use from Georgia G, but a really nice hard lead from Jackie White, which drew the kick, and she's sort of found herself in and out of the team all season. This is just her 7th game of the season, and really putting her hand up if they need someone to play that deep leading role without Bonnie Too Good. Potentially next week. We're still waiting to see how bad that injury is, but she's worked really hard so far this evening. Deserves a goal.
Brown in front. Drove by Keck. She's going nowhere. Goss goes to work.
I feel like Carlton really need the next one in this one, Al.
Absolutely.
They need to get the ball inside forward 50. It needs to stay there until they get a goal and go back to the centre, because Essendon really starting to get away from them now.
Radford, loopy hand pass. Keeney waited for it, took possession. Back to Radford, good. Smothered by Vesio, and she goes steamrolling through Morecambe and gets a hold of it again. A bouncing ball, a chance here for Carlton. Kick on the left, boots, a floater. And through for a minor score. Halfpenny with some good work. Keck, though, unable to finish.
Halfpenny just didn't have a left, was looking around for some support, got the ball and was running out onto her left. Just had to give the ball back. It was a really nice kick from Lila Keck, but just didn't quite have the carry on it.
Good. Awkward hand pass. Prasparkas will win it. Just navigates her way through bodies like a slalom skier through the poles. Voss. Trouble here for Carlton. Bannister long towards G. The spoil from Lawson Tavern, but the fleet of foot will be with G when it hits the deck. She spins, sends it back to Radford. She's met by Vesio. Pound spins away and gets it clear for a moment. It's going to be an Essendon ball. Lasso for a kick, Kane to take it.
That's cruel. That's bounced half a metre over the other side of 50. And it bounces the other side. It's a stoppage.
Kane to the hot spot. Shearer up in front, couldn't take it. Bartlett comes away, but there is no one there for Carlton. Keeney can set things up. They are queuing up the Dons. It's over. Well done by Cordner to make a contest. Shearer throws it on her boot, hacks a left foot kick clear. A bounce that's terrible for Moody. Van Loon, Brown. It goes to Bush, and now Prasparkas. Possession number 21 coming up for Maddie. And that a rare error over the head of Clark. Lawson Tavern to bring Carlton clear. Moody up in front. Got it to ground level. Keck under pressure from Keeney.
Have a look at this skill from Maddie Prasparkas. First of all, the ability to pick up the ball, then weave through traffic, and that touch kick, that is incredibly difficult to do, but she has made that look so easy.
Bartlett with strength barges through. Shearer's kick smothered, but she's persistent. Bartlett again, her kick smothered. Man scored. Sweeps the hand pass through Walker, and Keeney, who's having a good quarter, up to the wing. Peterson was there with Gamble. It is an innate game awareness that some players have, or very few have.
Some players pick up the ball and they sort of look rushed or like they're not sure where they're going with it. Maddie Prasparkas just picks it up and just almost like the whole field just stands still while she gets it, and then that little touch kick, that is incredibly difficult.
Voss. Nothing much deep to kick to, so she comes back. Alexander. Clark screaming for it. Alexander goes to half forward and uses it poorly. Gearing. Told to go. But where do I go, she says. Takes a few metres and goes long, and that's a good kick. Delpos takes the mark. Not much ahead of her. Keck will be the target. Brown giving chase towards the boundary and might be happy for that to go out. She'll have the free kick now for the Bombers.
Right there, back 2 metres. Back 2 metres.
Walker.
Starting to get this uncontested game going in the third term. Just free players everywhere. They're plus 15 in their uncontested possessions now for the third term.
Yeah, this is what you identified, Kate McCarthy, at the start of the game. It would be the area, if Essendon got in control of that side of their game, it would make life very difficult for Carlton, and we're seeing it play out as such. Kieran back with a flight, fully committed was Dyke. Now that is deemed to be a free kick to Carlton, last touch free kick. So Delpos
came off the toe. So as Bush was just bending down to pick up the footy, made contact with the boot.
Blues
trickled out of bounds.
Must find a goal before three-quarter time.
And Al, I can tell you that the Melbourne Football Club will be hoping that the Blues can find a goal. Of course, their skipper in Kate Hall mentioned after their game today they'll be all gathering all together at a pub tonight to watch this clash, and they'll all be barracking for the Blues, obviously, because they're looking to stay in the top 8. Of course, if Essendon win, they are out.
Yeah, so if this continues, takings at that local pub might be about to go up significantly. Brown gave it up. Clark is caught. Took a step, should be penalised. No free kick. Gaylor in tight. Got it to Dyke. Haven't seen as much of Fitzgerald in this quarter. Clark takes her on. Gave it to Gamble. Gives it back to Georgia G. G to centre half forward. Vaught bursting onto the ball. Takes possession. Gives it off. Clark bursts away. This would just about lock away a final spot. She can't do it. She pulls the kick. And the margin is 21, and the door for Carlton remains slightly ajar.
Could have run that all the way into the line. Really nice play, good transition play from Essendon, and you made the point that we haven't seen as much of Fitzgerald in this third term. That's because they've been able to work the ball up a lot nicer. Because Carlton haven't been as accountable with their opponent, they haven't forced them long, Essendon, and when they did force them long, Fitzgerald was just playing that beautiful intercepting role.
Nice mark by Halfpenny. She finds Keck. Back towards Robertson. Getting a crucial hand in there was Morecambe. And that's the live ladder right there, and showing Melbourne as it stands at the moment, having lived only for a few hours after their very good win over Collingwood today, inside the top 8. Moody, bouncing ball. Brown is there under pressure from Austin. Bush, harassed, dragged back in underneath her by Keck. The umpire's onto that.
So they got a minute here to try and put a little bit of scoreboard pressure on Essendon before this three-quarter time break.
And Scorn's got other ideas. Back it goes through Bush, who sends it to the middle. Chance for Clark. Again, she's off to the races. The chase was excellent from Fitzgerald, but Clark's still going. She feeds it off. Georgia G won't miss out. G for goal. They're in. Essendon is finals bound. They're out by 27 points, the Bombers. Carlton has struggled for goals all night. And they have started to break the game open with free-flowing, running football. Georgia G. Very skillful. She has put the Bombers where they want to be.
Well, we've seen a couple of examples now of Amber Clark and her turn of foot, but a little concern at how long she stayed down after this. No, it was just a good body hit. Must have been a little bit winded. I thought maybe there was some contact with the head, and we know that she's had some issues with concussion. But the finish from Georgia G, that was just all class, and she's such a classy small forward, isn't she? And made them pay, and they've had a very good third term, Essendon. They've had it all on their terms. They've been able to wrestle this one back in their in their favour and put the scores on the board.
3 goals to none in this quarter. They're coming again. Kane's tackle dispossessed, as is Fitzgerald. Goss closed down. That was just the one that Carlton could not afford to concede. Martin was 9 points at half-time, and it has ballooned to 27. Keck at the middle of the ball. Gaylor. It's a late spot, but she's managed to get a hold of it. Gave it off to Bush. Bush now to Gay. Gay towards the forward pocket. Gamble nudged under the ball effectively by Robertson. She keeps it in, but gives it up, and Bannister takes it out. Just about the final play of the third quarter. Slapped down by Moody for the legs of Sherra. And the decisive move has been made by the Dons in the third term, pushing the lead out to 27 points as they pursue their spot in the finals. It is Essendon 7-2, leading Carlton 2-5 at three-quarter time. They made their move. The margin's 27. Carlton with a quarter to play in its season. Head and shoulders above the rest in this contest, Kate McCarthy, has been Maddie Gay.
Yeah, she's been phenomenal. She's had the 27 disposals, 545 metres gained, whopping 11 handball receives. I dare say whoever it is that they play in the final next week may not allow her to have 11 handball receives because of the impact she's had on this game. Kicks like that. She can kick it long, she can get a whole lot of metres gained, but then she's also got the touch kick as well to just make sure it's to the advantage of the forward leading or the winger that's spread to the far side for them.
Nat Edwards has the Bombers coach.
Woody, that was an excellent third term from you guys. One more quarter to go and you can lock away a spot in the finals. What was your message then?
In that third quarter, we balanced up our stoppage work a lot more, got contested possession and clearances evened up, and then that was allowed us to get a bit more movement, and we changed up how we're moving the ball as well.
Geez, Amber Clark can be so exciting. We saw a couple of runs there. You had an extra word to her. What did you say?
Yeah, she's been really important for us. We're going to go in with a slightly different look in front of the football, and she just needs to keep taking her moments and taking the game on. I think she's been really good.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
1 quarter to go for the Bombers to lock things away. They're in a very strong position. What have you made, though, of the ruck duels tonight? Obviously, Wales out with the ACL has changed the dynamic for Essendon, Kate.
Yeah, she certainly has. They're well below, obviously, in those hit-outs, but Nanscorn saw last week as well, able to make the most of sort of reading the tap from the other ruck. But when you look at who they potentially could play, Richmond, Port Adelaide or Fremantle, all three of those rucks are very dominant, as is their midfield. So if you're going to give those three teams first use of the footy off their ruck, it's going to be a pretty difficult day. As it stands, they're only +2 in clearance, despite that dominance.
The Sparkers, speaking of dominant, she's been excellent, and she hits up Gamble. Gamble assesses, kick didn't have enough on it, and Peterson read the play. Touched on Maddie Gay throughout the night, just the fact that no one has been able to quell her influence and those handball receives that she's been getting time and time again. I mean, surely that is being noticed in the coach's box. And how can it be that that player is allowed to run around this ground with no attention?
Yeah, well, you hope it has been picked up for the impact that she's had, and just her ability here. You see at that clearance, she's just worked off her opponent really well. Doesn't really worry about where the forward's going and just positions herself behind the footy. So if it is a kick that's long and high or quick out of the contest, she's going to first of all read the ball better. But then if someone else takes the mark, she's going to accelerate off half back. And if you can't get an arm across her and keep her in front of you, she's gone before you notice and getting a handball received off the back of the contest.
Radford crashing through. Gaylord did well. Worked it forward by hand. G. A little toe poke away from Peterson. Hit it over the shoulder there on Gaylord. Vaught tackled strongly by Shearer, holding the ball.
So it's one of those ones that naturally as a forward you're thinking, oh, I'm in a really good space here because my defender is nowhere near me. But if that defender is Maddie Gay, there's probably a reason that she's nowhere near you, because she's either one in a better position than you are, or she's realised that they're about to win the ball back, Essendon, and she's sort of thinking a couple of steps ahead and is already on her way to getting a handball received. So you can have that mindset sometimes, especially as a new forward to the AFLW or taking the next step up, that, okay, I'm in a great spot here, but you're actually in sort of a bit of a redundant space, and the ability for Maddie Gay to realise that and peel off is just why she's such a good sort of halfback that can generate a lot of attack for them.
Kick underneath all of that. Nanscorn, where she's been many times tonight, underneath it. In the end, Gaylord gave it to Bush. Peterson edges her opponent out, takes possession in the middle of Icon Park. Carlton captain always gives her all. It bounces off the shoulder of Austin. Nanscorn there again. The work rate's excellent. Clearing kick should be intercepted by Vesio. Lawson Tavern. Through the hands of Garrett. Gaylord there again. Nice work by the Bombers to bring it clear. Morecambe's kick to the back flank. Vesio gets there first. Little fend on G. Skiddy kick around the boundary. Goss, neat pick up. Her kick for Shero. Shero did superbly there. She has been one Carlton player who can hold her head very high tonight, and that's a good kick too. Finds Finn.
Been very important throughout the whole season as well. Nice ball use. Always looks for that little lead up, and even across the body with the left was able to access that part of the ground.
Dana Finn has picked the one AFLW goal. Pulled the kick, but it might work. It's marked. Halfpenny in the pocket. I'm not certain that was a set play. Carlton will take whatever opportunities they can. Can Halfpenny thread the needle from here?
She looks like she's gone the drop punt here.
Well, that is going to take some serious skill. And serious skill she possesses. What a finish. A bit of rare joy for Carlton on what has been a tough night, a depleted side, a tough season. That is a very classy, confident drop punt finish.
We just reacted way quicker than anyone on the line there. In soccer, they call those a shot cross, where you're having a shot, it ends up in a cross and you claim it. But how good was that from Halfpenny? Absolutely no fuss about it too. Just took it off a step, so composed, and went through with the drop punt. That was a beautiful finish, and that man on screen, I think he would have gone the banana or the check side, but
well, I reckon Sid Jackson would have gone the drop kick, and Eddie Betts would have gone the banana. I'm not sure what Shane O'Sullivan would have gone, but great to see those giants of the Carlton Football Club here as part of Indigenous round to Indigenous giants of the game, Sid Jackson and Eddie Betts.
She looked composed when she kicked it, and then after she kicked it, she looked more surprised than anyone in the stadium that she'd actually done it.
Vesio with Keeney for company. Brilliant evasion. Left foot kick inside the 50. Almost taken by Brianne Moody. Knocked to the side. Brown farms it up. Keeney will soccer. Gets it clear. G and Pound. Pound first to collect. G wraps her up. One of the most loved Carlton footballers of all time, Eddie Betts. With that period where he disappeared and did amazing things, owning the Adelaide Oval as a Crow, and then came back in the latter stages of his career, much to the delight of all those in navy blue. Goss unable to emerge from this congestion there. Good. Squeezes a kick here and there. Good feet. It's around the body, they're lining up, but they've messed it up. Little kick forward. Austin. And it's through for a minor score. Carlton playing out their season with a bit of heart. Bannister. Kicks towards the wing. Awesome Tavern. Throwing in front of the interchange. Taylor makes her way off and Radford comes on.
Yeah, they'll ring the changes here. The ball spent a lot of time out on the far side of the ground, so a few changes to be made. And Carlton are pushing. They're making sure that Essendon have to play this all the way out to the end to get over the top of them. It's been a pretty good performance from them, but every time they've sort of had something, Essendon have been able to respond and just put another score on the board or take an important relieving mark. They've just been a bit too good for them on the night.
So Carlton did make that grand final in front of a sellout crowd at Adelaide Oval against the Crows when they were convincingly beaten, but it's been lean years. 5th season in a row that the Blues will not play finals football. Where is the area of greatest improvement required for Carlton, do you think, Kate? Stay with this play for a moment as Gay drives the ball forward. She's done everything, marking a goal. A bouncing ball over the back. Narrowly misses.
Well, I mean, sort of midway through the season, looking at their stats, their clearance numbers were pretty good. Their contested possession numbers were pretty good as well, but all in all, it's just been their ability to score. They haven't been able to score enough points. They haven't been able to take enough sort of marks inside that forward 50 zone to put winning scores on the board.
That was almost in the van there to take the mark, but fingertipped it.
So they're ranked 17th for marks inside 50 in the competition, 18th from scores from clearance, and 16th scores from turnover. So they're three pretty big metrics when you're 6th for disposals, 4th for contested possessions, and 6th for total clearances. You're getting enough of the footy, but you're just not really connecting inside that front half to make the other teams pay.
Socket by Moody. Radford there. Gay again. Bush closed down courts. Just got boot to ball. Brown is caught by Nan Scorn. She did not. And the crowd getting vocal here. The Essendon fans know this is just about job done.
Well, if you thought Georgia Nanscorn was just going to put cruise control on and coast into the finals, you thought wrong, because she is just someone that's the ultimate competitor. 21 disposals now, 15 of those are contested. 14 ground ball gets, 6 tackles and a goal to go with it. It's been a spirited performance from her.
Bush's kick inside the 50, through the hands of Gamble, almost completed the mark. Peterson closed down. Pound is hurt behind the play and Cordner is ripped off it and she's penalised. So Gab Pound fell and slow to rise. Bannister is going to take the shot at goal here.
Friendly fire. Just Cordner coming back, just got her with her elbow in a really bad spot for Gab.
On the Essendon side of things then, with their finals position really locked away here now, Kate, so there's a little bit of unpredictability about them because of the way they need to set up structurally now. Could that potentially be any sort of advantage for them in the finals?
Yeah, I think that the way that they use the ball, though, is pretty... I mean, what we've seen the last few weeks when they've played well, they've been able to chain the ball from end to end using uncontested possessions, as we see Gab making her way off the ground, which is great to see, unassisted, but I don't think we'd see her back for the remainder of the evening, considering there's sort of that 7 minutes 30 to go. Not worth risking it with what we see in concussion now, but yeah, I think if you're able, and Carlton showed in the first half, if you're able to take away uncontested possessions from them and force them long, you get a real look and you get an opportunity to go back at them.
So Bannister on the approach. Some nice finishing touches on this for the Dons. Job done. The margin is 28 points. That's the most significant margin now of the game. On the back of the Bannister goal.
As we see the nasty collision again with Gab Pound. And then the free kick awarded to Daria Bannister for what played out after that passage, but beautiful kick at goal. beautiful set shot, Daria Bannister, and got some fantastic purchase on that one.
Dyke rises early. Perfect palm down to Nanscorn. He might be building some chemistry in the middle. Clark, G, a little fumble. We'll get another chance. Composure as she goes back to Kane. Kick goes to the pocket. Gamble gets hands to it again. Cordner paddles and it's out of play. Let's get downstairs to Nat Edwards.
We can see Natalie Wood there, very happy on the bench because this one is locked in. Essendon will play finals for the second consecutive season. And Maddie Pressbarkers is actually just waiting to come back on the ground. But I thought when she came off a few minutes ago, she might actually stay on the bench. Maddie Gay's also on the bench. Maybe it was an opportunity to rest some stars. Now this game is done.
They look very happy down there, that's for sure, Nat.
That's what I always look at, the hierarchy of the team when you're sort of up and there's not a whole lot left to play for. You really know you spot the team when you're one that's either taken off the ground to just rest up for the last 6 minutes, or if you're one that has to play out to the final siren.
That's a high one on Nanscorn. Clumsy from Austin. Nanscorn coming up for possession number 23. 14 ground ball, gets 8 clearances, 17 contested possessions, 6 tackles and a goal. Almost to mark to Gamble. Clark gives it off. Around the body goes the kick. Bannister. Nice her kick intercepted by Velado. Peterson. Robertson. Goss the target, but there are 3 Bombers there. And that is a fine mark from Gaylord. Just 19 years of age, playing. Well, she has 50 games under her belt. Linking up again. Keeney is the outside of the boot quite deliberately in the G direction. Shearer threw that out really. Peterson's caught. Just got the hand pass free. Fitzgerald. Shearer. A left foot spiral out of defence is intercepted by Morgan.
Really getting their front half game going, putting the pressure on the ball carrier, playing this all the way out to the final siren, which is great to see. But yeah, getting that front half turnover and being able to set up really nicely behind the ball.
So Bess Kearney will celebrate game number 50 with a victory, as will Elise Gamble. Fitzgerald held up by Walker. What have you made of Dyke in the ruck tonight, or around the ground broadly, her role within this Essendon side, Kate?
I mean, it's hard coming in for sort of one of the few games you've played of the season when you've had a ruck that's been so dominant. So they've been able to still win clearance. She's only played the 3 games for the season, and it is hard coming in as a player that's sort of on the fringe and then coming in and having to play such an important position. So while she hasn't had a whole lot of hit outs, she's still competed really well, and she'll be able to offer them something and do her homework on the ruck that she's coming up against in the finals, and be able to work with, I think her and Nanscorn are starting to build a little bit of a combination as well. So yeah, it's a tough role, but I think she's competed well.
Nanscorn, yet another possession. Vaught burrows in, lost possession of it. Robertson's hand pass was nice and clean, and Guerin tumbles it forward. Parried down by Brown, and needed to be because Moody was out the back if it got through. Here's Tani Brown tackled dispossessed. Georgia G looking to link up again. Pressbarkers back on. Gives to Vaught. She's closed down. Gets boots the ball towards the goal square, and that's a fine spoil. Robertson over the top of Clark. The Bombers just a couple of minutes away from 100% confirmation of their final spot. So Melbourne will miss out, which is a story in itself, Kate, to see that the Demons with the dominant force they have been in the AFLW, missing finals.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a pretty injury-interrupted season, as many teams have, though, and they've had a pretty challenging fixture, too. They've played some pretty good teams, and they've had to battle through. Them and Geelong are probably the two that most teams that are inside that top 8 are pretty glad that neither of those two teams have made it, because both of those have been hitting some pretty good form in the back part of the season. I think the late outs last week to Kate Moore and Gab Colvin were pretty big losses as well. So they just haven't had the sort of fit players on the park when they've needed them, Melbourne.
Gamble G, maybe Clark, yes! Well, this has been a night to celebrate for Essendon, and from here, the hard work really begins. Clark with the goal. Essendon skips out to a 35-point lead. So part of the year is setting yourself up and achieving the first goal of playing finals. And then the whips really start to get cracking from there.
Probably the third goal that Georgia G's been nice enough to give off, and Amber Clark, who's played that role of the small forward really well, has had a few opportunities to probably kick one herself, and gets the reward that she deserves after a pretty good game down there.
Well, these are the lowest moments on an AFLW field for Jess Dalpos. 70th game. An inaugural giant. Has been playing in this competition since its very first season in 2017. She's been an All-Australian, a best and fairest winner. So she will cherish these final moments on an AFLW field, albeit on the wrong end of the result tonight. Georgia G's last quarter. Well, the whole night really. Prasparkas, Clark, 45 out, sends it goalward, bouncing ball, away to the left.
It's such a beautiful kick. Amber Clark just drills it low and flat, and just such a good acceleration. Just can change pace really quickly. Looks super dynamic when she gets any sort of space as well.
Peterson down the pipe. Awesome Tavern. Continues on that theme, straight down the middle. Vesio waits at the back, gives the hand pass off to Guerin. She kicks for Dalpos. Now here's a moment in AFLW. Her curling kick doesn't have the penetration, and Brooke Brown plays party pooper. She is not going to give Jess Dalpos a signature final moment in AFLW football.
Well, it was almost the script that you could have written for Jess Dalpos, who's been a pioneer of women's football, not only in the AFLW, but before the AFLW's inception. So, still going to go out. A very, very important key figure to AFLW.
So Essendon achieves what it set out to. The Bombers will play finals. Next step, win one. Something the club is desperately seeking. The challenge was set before Essendon early. Carlton came out of the blocks nicely. Kicked the opening goal of the game. It wasn't until Radford goal at the 15-minute mark, nearly 16-minute mark of the first quarter, that the Bombers had their first. They trailed at quarter time and hit the lead in the second term and never looked back, and ultimately run out winners by 6 goals. So Essendon will play finals, and the year is over for both Carlton and now Melbourne. Down to Ned Edwards.
Maddie, the equation was simple coming into this game. You just had to win, which is a lot of pressure coming into a game of football, but you executed. What was most pleasing for you?
Yeah, it was just really pleasing. Like, I felt like the first quarter, as always, is the real scrap of the game, and we just had to try and get the momentum going our way. As you know, it's real fast-paced footy at the start, so once we shifted momentum our way, I felt like we started to get the game in our hands. And yeah, I'm just super proud of the girls. Obviously losing Bonnie early, but the girls didn't shy away, and yeah, finals.
Second consecutive year making finals. This will come up during the week, the fact that Essendon hasn't won a final in 20 years, but can the AFLW team be the one to break that drought? Is there a real sense of belief in this group?
Oh, well, yeah, we'll review this game first and then preview the next game with whatever lies ahead of us. But yeah, like, super proud of the girls. I think making finals is one thing, but you want to win finals, so that's going to be what we're going to work towards this week. We'll review this game first, preview the game ahead, recover well, and yeah, I'm real bullish about what this group can do. And yeah, finals footy, it's an exciting time, and I'm grateful that we get to be part of it.
It is exciting. It's also your birthday today, so happy birthday. How will we celebrate a little bit later?
No, I just...
No cake?
No, probably a little bit of ice cream cake maybe, but no, my partner cooked up a really nice breakfast this morning for me and my twin sister, so shout out to her. It's our birthday today, so yeah, it's been a nice morning with family, and I'll spend a bit more with family tomorrow, so yeah, super grateful, and yeah, happy birthday, Tannerly.
Well, happy birthday to you. Go and celebrate with your teammates, and best of luck in finals.
Thank you.
Maddie Pressbarkis there, and I am now joined by someone that Maddie actually played one season with. It was season 6 in 2022. It's Jess Dalpos, who is a retiring OG of the AFLW. Jess, not the way you would have wanted to go out, but what's the overriding emotion right now, and how do you reflect on your career?
Oh, lots of big questions.
I know, sorry, Jess.
The overriding emotion for us as a team today, like, I feel like we've been battling, and every time we feel like we've got our heads above water, something else has happened. So I'm pretty happy with how we went today in terms of how we wanted to play footy. Like, you could see what we were trying, and there were some really fun moments, like Jade kicking that goal from the boundary. She's worked all year. She really deserves that kick, and it was really fun to celebrate with her. Thoughts on my career? It's been a long one, but today's game 70, so probably in the bigger picture of footy, it's not been that long, but I feel like I've lived a life.
You certainly have, because you played over 150 games for Darebin as well. I mean, we have to look at you as a trailblazer, an inaugural Giants player. 2017, at the start of the competition, you won a best and fairest with the Giants, obviously an All-Australian that year. You've achieved a lot. Do you reflect on that part of how far this competition has come, and how far women's football has come in that time?
Yeah, I got asked this during the week, and I sort of feel like early days the league was sort of player-built and player-led, because we were all sort of leading each other to where it needed to go, because nobody was quite sure how to do it. So I'm really proud that we're here. I feel like I've had a part in that, and I'm really proud that we've got safe workplaces for women and gender diverse people. Like, we come to work and we have a really good time, and I feel like churning people out the other side of their career, they've got options for their life, and they're happy people. So I feel quite proud that I got to be a part of that.
Well, we're super proud of you. Congratulations on an incredible career. We know you're not going to be lost to footy, hopefully some coaching, but please go and enjoy this moment, and thank you for everything you've done for the AFLW.
Thank you. Quick shout out to Stuart James, our awesome Indigenous jumper. We love it. Thank you for designing it.
Go well, Jess.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful Guernsey to go out in, and beautifully set. So the Bombers are in. They win by 36 points. We'll hear the song on the other side of this.